Recording in progress.
What disease has made Nepal terminally ill? What condition plagues this country the most? From the sovereign parliament to the streets, from the air space to the very land, from the air space to the very waters of this country, from the federal capital, from the federal government headquarters to the local governments. What has made the system, the political system, the system of governments dysfunctional in this country? What plagues the judiciary the most? What ails the executive the most? And what disease that the parliament has been grappling with? The parliament that is supposed to be the sovereign body, the sovereign organ of the state that reflects the will of the people, of the free citizens of this country. What plagues, what has been plaguing this country, what has been afflicting this country despite several waves of political changes, the epoch-making changes for which successive generations made great sacrifices. They laid their lives, they spent their youth and middle ages fighting for some ideals like democracy, human rights, and good governance. What features in uh, the yearly corruption perception index of the Transparency International, bringing infamy to the political system uh, for the federal republican order for which people sacrificed a lot. That has to be that ailment afflicting Nepal the most has to be corruption, policy corruption in particular. It's not corruption is not only about farm grazing. Uh, it is not about using the services of friends in high places for your petty interests. It's not about bribing a government clerk for getting things done, for fast tracking your works. It's more than that. It's about national sovereignty also. It's about territorial integrity also. It's about putting the future of successive generations of Nepalese at stake. This corruption poses an existential threat to this country. I'm not exaggerating. It endangers the future of successive generations of Nepali peoples. So today's soft talk naturally will take on this ill plaguing the country with the main focus on the Bhutanese refugee scam that has netted some big fish. Welcome to the program. The media pages are replete with some high profile arrests as this investigation against uh, this investigation into the Bhutanese refugee scam just gathers momentum. Today's presentation is based on the editorial published in the Annapurna Express Daily, but it is not confined to that particular piece only. It just seeks to just paint a broader picture of the developments. A war against corruption. The police probe into the Bhutanese refugee scam has thus far netted 12 people, including a former Home Minister and a government secretary, while another former minister remains at large. The question arises, why the long arm of the law failed to get hold of this minister while he was attending a program in Arghakhanchi in western Nepal, or right after that program. This remains a mystery. The police investigation follows complaints from about 100 people. What were these people complaining against? They were complaining against a powerful group involved in scamming gullible Nepali people by promising to send them abroad as Bhutanese refugees through forged papers. Leaders of different hues and shades blowing hot and cold amid the probe. This tendency, this behavior indicates that there may be skeletons in their cupboards as well. In the wake of this probe, the top leadership of the Nepali Congress, that is the largest party in the parliament, and the CPN-UML, the second largest party, have met more than once with Prime Minister and CPN Maoist Center chair Pushpa Kamal Dahal. About these engagements, Prime Minister Dahal has tried to clarify that they have nothing to do with the scam. But the timing of these meetings and the probe give enough ground for suspicion. Not to be forgotten is the fact that a large majority of people have lost faith in the tried and tested political leadership. Why? Because this leadership has failed to deliver even after getting popular mandates for change over the decades, not once, not twice, but on several occasions. It has got this political leadership has got the benefit of the doubt from the people, but it has chosen to trample on the popular aspirations of people for democracy, human rights, and good governance, among other ideals. Prime Minister Dahal, Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha, Nepal police leadership, new political parties, and change-seeking leaders of the old guard, of the old parties, they should keep in mind that the refugee scam is but one among many scandals that has plagued the country over the decades. The refugee scam probe has offered these people who are tired of endemic corruption in the country, it has offered the people, the laity, if you will, a glimmer of hope. It is clear that the people want investigations into all cases of corruption, policy corruption in particular, policy corruption in particular. Why a policy graft? Because it is the mother of corruption, and they want action against the guilty. Over the decades, corruption has gotten institutionalized in every walk of national life, from Singha Darbar to combatants' camps, from the parliament to the streets, from Baluatar to the very huts, from the public enterprises to the private farms, and from the mountains to the streets. You name it, and it's theirs. In the waters of this country, in the air space, everywhere, this corruption has gotten institutionalized over the decades. Naturally, it is the gravest disease afflicting this beautiful country with huge potentials for democracy, human rights, good governance, and whatnot. For the political leadership, waging a war against corruption may be more difficult than waging a clandestine war for obvious reasons. This political leadership will need tremendous political will to open stacks of files related to corruption and bring the proverbial big fish to justice, which may not always bring results favorable to these parties and their respective leaders. But a long and in-depth and fail-proof investigation into corruption cases is the only way, that is the only way to cleanse the federal republican governance system and start the process of restoring public faith in it. What are your thoughts on our presentation? How can we improve these presentations and win your hearts and minds? Do let us know. Comment on our presentation. Give us a pat on the back wherever it's due. And above all, subscribe to this channel. This channel aims to promote citizen journalism in the long run, and it has been doing so right away as well. But we need your support to make this endeavor viable. We need your support to keep going. Please bear this fact in mind and give all your support. Literally, throw your weight behind this initiative. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.